Mind buying. Okay, German. For most of my life, I would say, I've been trying to learn German. I absolutely love German. I first started learning it in primary school, and that's when I really started like loving it. I loved it. We did the very basics like counting, alphabet, etc. So I think we were about 10ish, 10 years old when we first started, I'm saying we, when I first started learning, and then learned it all through high school. I made sure to pick it in all my subjects. I absolutely loved it. And I did higher German and I got an A. And then I took advanced higher German, but then I dropped it because I was like, am I going to need this? Should I taken it? Should I still done it? I wish I had, but I didn't. That could have been good. Like I could have been like extra good at German, but alas. School really like made me fall in love with the language. I absolutely just love German. We even went on a school trip to Germany, and I think it was my 3rd year of high school, so I was about like what, 15, 14, I can't remember. And I cannot for the life of me remember where in Germany we went, and I feel like every year I message this girl that went with us on Facebook, and I'm like, where is it we went in Germany again? I can never remember, and I still can't remember. That trip was extremely memorable. The only thing I can remember from that trip is falling in love with the bakeries, because that's my first experience of German bakeries and being like, oh my god, I've been missing out. Greg's, what is Greg's? My camera gets stolen. It was my fault. I left it down in a really stupid area and it went missing, so don't remember anything about Germany apart from those things. We had a teacher called Frau Schwita, or Schwita, and it sounds terrible in a Scottish accent, Frau Schwita. She was my favourite teacher. She's the one teacher that really sticks out in my mind. She was very strict, but she was also really fair, so like firm but fair. She had long black hair, and she was a little bit I'm sure she was a wee bit a rocker. Okay dad. I'm sure we met her at the Red Hot Chili Peppers gig. It was funny. She was my German teacher all through school. Loved her. So after school, after high school, I stopped learning German so much. I kept all my Arbeitshefts, or my workbooks, or whatever. We just called them Arbeitshefts in school. I never got rid of them, so I think like over the years after high school I still kind of kept looking at them and looking through them, and the words just stuck with me for some reason. Right, learning and retaining information is something I've always struggled with. I can't remember things unless I do them over and over and over and over, and I have a terrible memory, so if I don't keep doing these things and relearning, then they'll just completely go in one ear and out the other. I've been learning German on and off after high school by using different apps and things like that. I found that I do remember quite a lot of the German that I learned in school, and for some reason it's just stuck with me. So I find that quite interesting. I don't know if it's because a lot of the words are like a lot of English words. We'll go into that a bit more later on. So I've always been able to understand like basic German, and if I hear conversations I can kind of pick up the gist of what's being talked about, if you know what I mean. And I think that's because of a lot of the listening exams and things in higher German. They talk so fast. I can't complete, come on, Scottish people talk very fast. The app that I'm currently using to learn German is called Babble, and this is so exciting for me because this video is sponsored by Babble. Oh my god, I cannot believe this video is being sponsored by an app that is helping me learn German again, and an app that I regularly use. It's just exciting for me. Babble's a subscription based app, and I found it really useful because it uses like real life conversations, things that you would hear day to day rather than random sentences like my dog wears a hat, stuff like that you wouldn't use. But it uses real life conversations, which is my favourite part of the app because you can listen to it and repeat it, and you can hear people having actual conversations. The amount of content on the app makes it a fair price product. There's just so much, and there's a huge range of topics and lessons that you can do, and you only need like 15 minutes for a lesson. It covers things like listening, conversations, talking, grammar and vocabulary. For me it is the conversations and it is the talking and listening parts that are more useful for me. Vocabulary, that is useful, and the amount of times it repeats it is very useful as well, but actually hearing the conversations is what makes it for me. That's what I need to be able to learn properly. There's a team of language experts behind the app, so it ensures you progress fast and get the best out of your time. Babble's available on desktop, Android, iOS, and offers 14 languages. So like I said, you only need 15 minutes to complete a lesson. So for me, before work in the morning, sometimes I'll do a wee lesson, or if I'm on my break, I use the app on my phone. I'll always use the desktop version when I'm at home. Another really useful thing as well, if you don't have access to Wi-Fi or your data, you can actually download lessons to do offline, which is really handy. So I'm offering you a wee offer. If you click on the link below in the description, you can get a 3 for 3 offer, which is exciting. So in this video, I'm going to show you me using the app a bit later on, so you can have a laugh and hear my German accent and my German words. Oh dear. I'm going to talk a wee bit more about the words that I found are quite similar to Scots words, which I didn't even click in high school, like when I was learning these words. It's only now that I've been doing German again that I've realised we have a lot of similar words. So I'm going to tell you some of those words later on in the video as well. And I'm also going to talk about some of my funny experiences when visiting Germany. My first experience of Germany, apart from that one in high school that I can't remember, was when I went on a hen do. A hen do's like, it's a bachelorette. Words? Bachelorette, wow. A bachelorette party, if you're not from here. We call it a hen do. My friend Cheryl was getting married, and me, her cousin Claire, and our friend Emma, we all went to Berlin for a long weekend. I think it was 2 nights we went, and I loved it. I fell in love with Berlin. It was amazing. And then I liked it so much that I went back for a week later that year. I'm dying to go back again. I feel like I've not even seen half of it, even though we've done so much, you know. The very first time I was in a situation where I had to have a conversation in German, it was awful. I was in a supermarket and a woman came up to me and said something, and I panicked so much that I just started walking backwards and just walked away down the other aisle. I felt terrible about it, but I just absolutely just panicked and I just couldn't speak. Who does that? Who walks backwards? It's so rude. I've never done that in my life. So that's my first experience of a German conversation. But then we had a night out that night. I think we got talking to a group of guys who, most of them didn't speak English. One of them spoke good English, but the others didn't. So I found myself, after a few drinks, saying things to them such as, just for a laugh, I have a potato on my head and I am a church. Banter. I think the guys were just a bit like, is she alright? Last year I visited Germany again, and I went with my friend Steph, and we went to Munich, Innsbruck and Vienna. I know they're in Austria, but still speak German. It's funny how different the accents are though, like the Austrian German sounds different than the German. We went to Klagenfurt for the Krampus festival. Turns out it wasn't even on. You can see all of this in the vlog, by the way. I'll link the vlog below. So in Klagenfurt we ended up drowning our sorrows by we ended up stumbling upon an Irish bar. We always end up stumbling on Irish bars, and it was hilarious because we kept going up for more drinks, and the bar guy kept going, ooh, durstig, meaning, oh, thirsty. And I didn't know what he was saying the whole start of the, you know, when I was buying drinks. I was just like and then realised later on that he was saying durstig. And then we found an Australian bar because it was near our bit that we were staying, and we had a bit too much to drink yet again. And a group of 3 guys came up and talked to us, and they were insisting on speaking English, and because we'd had a few drinks and wanted to speak German, we were like, nein, Deutsch. We were trying our best to speak German to these guys while they were speaking English, going, it's fine, just speak English. They were asking us for like things to say in Scots, in the Scots language, and Steph, being the comedian that she is, not, the guy went, so say something in Scots, and she went, get your balls out. I was like, Steph, she's like, he doesn't know what I'm saying. So I told him it means like something that, you know, get your balls out is get your balls out. And I was like, oh my god, he's going to go and say this to people thinking it means something else. Yeah, that was random. It was such a good night. Germany nightlife, even though I said Klagenfurt before that, but well, like, it's fine. Oh, and also in Austria, this little old couple came up to us, and they were the cutest couple you've ever seen. And the man didn't speak English, but he was like, ah, bist du Schwester? I can't remember the actual Schwesters, I can't remember. He basically asked us if we were sisters, and me and Steph were going, nein, Freundin. So bad at German. He was trying to tell us something but we couldn't understand, so his wife was saying, oh, my husband is an artist. So I'm like offending all of Germany and Austria right now. She said, my husband's an artist, and he something about painting us, I don't know, but we were like, no, okay, bye. But they were so sweet. He thought we were sisters because we were wearing the same jackets. This year, Steph and I went to Nuremberg and stayed in Heidelberg as well for a couple of nights, and it was so much fun. Loved Nuremberg. We got matching tattoos, vlog below again. But while we were there, I was trying to speak German a little bit more. Like the first time we went, I was a bit shy about speaking German, and I was like saying the occasional German thing, but speaking a lot of English. And this time round I was like, no, I'm going to use my German and try my best. And it was good, like it was quite good. We got by, no bother. We were in another bar and the man was like, he asked in German, what garnish would you like for your gin? And I said, Citrona bitte. Sorry about my terrible accent. So lemon please. And Steph started going, lemon. Lemon. So like that became a thing the whole trip, just like us going lemon. And she didn't quite say it like that, she was trying to say lemon but like slowly, and it was coming out weird. That was fun. But yeah, I'm trying to go back again. Those are the only places I've been to in Germany. Where else should I go? I know that I spoke about Austria as well, but I want to go back to Germany and see more of Germany. I find German a really good language for me to learn because a lot of the words are like English. So we have a lot of similar words, and for the Scottish accent, I feel like, maybe not all Scottish accents, but with my Scottish accent I find it easy to pronounce certain German words because the Scottish accent is quite guttural. So pronouncing words with the sound, like the CH sound, is easy for me because we have words like that as well, like loch. So if I'm saying things like machen or schlecht, you know, it's easy because of the CH sound that we have in the Scottish, you know, in the Scottish accent, and Scottish words, sorry. So a lot of the German words are like English. So for example, Jahr, year, bet, bed, gut is good. It's quite handy having words that are quite similar. I also love saying mein Bein, my legs, I don't know why. But I really need to study a bit more into where the Scots language comes from, because I know that with both languages there's Germanic or Teutonic roots. I've read a lot of different things, but it's so interesting to me how they are similar and they are related in certain ways. And I know that the Dutch language as well is quite similar and has a lot of similar words to Scots words and English words as well. So we're all kind of related. It's funny, it's interesting. Our languages all come from similar roots, and that's why the words are so similar. But words that I found to be similar, right, I'm going to tell you the words. Kirche, terrible pronunciation, I'm sorry, that is church in German, and in the Scots language, kirk means church. Kirk is a word that I hear a lot of elderly people use. I never hear people say it day to day here ever. We just say church or chapel or whatever, or mass. But a lot of the elderly people do sometimes still say kirk, go to the kirk. Kirche in German, I don't know if it's Kirche or Kirche. Anyway, kennen in German is to know, and we have a word here, a lot of people say ken to mean know here. We don't say it where I live in West Dunbartonshire, but I know that in Fife, places like that, they say, ah, you ken, meaning you know, or I dinna ken, which means I don't know. This one's quite funny because it is the same spelling, right? So finger in German is finger, but Scottish slang, right, a lot of people around here say the word finger, like, oh my finger hurts, or oh I just cut my finger. And I don't know, or it's like shoulder. We have like these weird slang words for certain words, even though it doesn't shorten the word. Like you can still say finger and it's not any shorter or any longer than finger, but for some reason people here still sometimes say my finger. I found that funny because that is the same as German. Lang in German means long, and you'll have heard me say in videos before the phrase auld lang syne, for old time's sake. Lang in Scots means long as well. So, and still today, like you'll hear people here say along the road, so along the road, or I wouldn't really hear someone saying a long time as a lang time, but you would say along the road, along there. People do still say that, especially where I live, but lang means long in German. This one's quite funny because it sounds similar. So in German, cow is Kuh, but here it's spelled differently, but people do say Kuh for cow in Scots and like Scottish slang. And I say it as in like a cow lick. I've always said a cow's lick because that's just what I thought it was called, but I found that that's the slang way to say it. A cow's lick, a cow lick, which I've actually got, you can see that. But coo, I found that funny because we do say coo. I don't say coo, but I would say a cow's lick. And the last one that I picked, which is a similar word, is nicht, which means not in German. And although we don't have the same meaning in English, an old Scots word is nicht. You might have heard the phrase a bra brecht moonlicht nicht the night, which is like a nice moonlight night. Nicht is night in Scots, but I just thought that was funny because it is the same word, even though it doesn't mean the same thing. There are probably so many other words as well that are similar, so if you can think of any, then feel free to leave them in the comments below. But I thought, you know, those are the ones that came to my head, and those are the ones that I found really interesting. I'm going to do a bit of a lesson. We'll see how I get on. I'm going to do one of the beginner's lessons so that I don't look too bad. This is lesson 6, and it's Sind Sie aus Berlin? Sind Sie aus Berlin? I'm so sorry. If I say it in my Scottish accent it sounds weird. Sind Sie aus Berlin? So I need to do the accent. Choose the correct translation. That's he. Er. S is it.
S.
Yay! I like that it repeats it back so you know exactly how you're saying it. Ihr is you plural. Ihr. Sie, so it has a capital, so that is you formal.
Sie.
And then wir is we. We. Can't even speak English. Sie is they. I'm just turning my volume down because it's quite loud. Continue. Sort the items. So, are you Mr. and Mrs. Mertensen? I sounded quite Scottish there. So, sind Sie Herr und Frau Mertensen? Yay!
Herr und Frau Mertensen?
Oh, Mertensen, sorry. Entschuldigung. And who are you? So, und wer bist du?
Und wer bist du?
Are you Mario from Munich? Bist du Mario aus München?
Bist du Mario aus München?
München. We are Vera and Patrick from Kiel. Wir sind Vera und Patrick aus Kiel.
Wir sind Vera und Patrick aus Kiel.
Are you the new pupils? Seid ihr die neuen Schüler?
Seid ihr die neuen Schüler?
I'm so bad. I'm cringing in my accent. All the German people are going to be like... so listen and complete. Okay.
Sie ist die neue Lehrerin.
Sie ist... Oh, can't type. Sie ist... I know that has a capital, but for time's sake, I'm not gonna... So it corrects it anyway.
Ist das richtig?
Ist das richtig? Ja. So is that right? Is that correct? Correct! See, I love doing German, it's so much fun. Continue. Okay, fill in the forms of sein. So these are ones I've done before, so I need to do like I am, you are, he is, she is, etc. So du bist.
Du bist.
Du bist. Ist. I'm going to show you beginners course 1, which I've done, but we're going to do it. So. Lesson 1, hello, wie geht's?
Hallo.
Hello, so you just have to repeat it.
Ich bin Sandra.
Ich bin Sandra. By the way, I don't say it as enthusiastically when I'm actually speaking it in public. So choose the correct translation. Gut, danke. So that's fine, thank you.
Gut, danke.
Gut, danke. Ich bin Sandra. I am Sandra.
Ich bin Sandra.
So as you can see, it tells you all beforehand and then you have to pick the right one from what you've learned previously. Wie geht's? How are you?
Wie geht's?
Hello. I love the pictures.
Hallo.
How are you? Wie geht's? Can't type.
Wie geht's?
Wie geht's? So there you go, a wee explanation. Wie geht's is short for wie geht es. So how goes it? The S replaces S. I love this. So a colleague is picking up Sandra from the airport.
Guten Tag. Sind Sie Herr Schmidt?
Guten Tag.
Das bin ich.
So that's quite good. It tells you the conversation, so then you have to then unscramble. Ich. Oh, that's not how you spell it. Ich bin. Oh my god, it's quite... I'm pure sausage fingers. So I like that it's like, it tells you the scenario. So a colleague's picking up Sandra from the airport. They're meeting for the first time. The colleague has his young daughter Claudia with him. Ich bin Sandra Belke.
Ich bin Sandra Belke.
Belke.
Guten Tag, Frau Belke. Willkommen in Berlin.
So hello Miss Belke, welcome to Berlin. So thank you, danke. Und wer bist du? Thank you, and who are you?
Danke. Und wer bist du?
Ich bin Claudia. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm taking the piss because
Ich
I'm
bin
not.
Claudia.
So hello. Ich bin Sandra. And then how are you? So wie geht's? Wie geht's? Wie geht's? This is why I prefer to do it.
Sandra, wie geht's?
So the German hello is more informal than the English hello. You wouldn't use hello in a very formal situation. Ja. So gut, danke. This is why I prefer doing it on the desktop than on my phone because my sausage fingers. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Tschüss.
Tschüss.
See, I could do this all day. So that was fun, and I have to actually go to work, so I probably shouldn't be still doing this. Yeah, that is Babble, and thank you to Babble for sponsoring this video. You have made my life. Click the link in the description to get the offer. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet and you enjoy my content. Click the wee notification bell if you want notified of when I upload. And thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!